Hi everyone, this is Brenda from Mainly Hybrid Homesteading. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm finishing up dehydrating the pears that I got from AZURE Standard. I had gotten 20 pounds for $14. So some of them are, they do have some soft spots in some areas, but we're just going to be cutting those spots away and then slicing them up and getting them ready for the dehydrator. These are already washed, and I got some water here with some lemon juice. I don't really measure it. There's about 2 tablespoons in there, and it's not really a necessary step, but it does help with the browning. They still come out like a golden color, and they are delicious. It's just like eating candy. So I am so glad to get these on the shelf, and hopefully they will last us until the pears are in season again, but I can always buy some at the store and get them that way. But I am liking the quality that I get from AZURE Standard. Okay. You'll also see here that I have my dehydrator trays, and I have a silicone sheet on each tray. I find it much easier to have the dried pears release from the sheets than they do from the wire rack. So it makes my job easier, and they're easy to keep clean. You'll see a couple crumbs here from the previous batch of pears. But after I'm done doing the whole 20 pounds, I will clean everything. So we're just going to remove some of the areas where there's soft spots or some holes in the surface. And then I just try to cut it up as close to the core that I can. And I have seen where some people are selling the pears in a cross section, so the core is included in each slice. I have not tried them that way, so I don't know if you would be crunching on that or not. So I'm just trying to make the slices evenly as possible. If they're not perfect, don't worry about it. We'll talk about that a little bit later, how I try to fix that problem if there is one slice that's a little chunky. Okay, so just lining them up on the tray so they're not overlapping. And if you do have some slices that are a little extra thick, I'll just cut them in half so they'll dehydrate faster or at the same rate as the smaller pieces. Because you want everything to kind of finish at the same time if you can. So Our pears have come out of the dehydrator. I dehydrated them at 135 degrees for 16 and a half hours. I had originally tried 14 and a half hours, but the ones that I did for 14 and a half hours need to be dehydrated some more. They're still sticking to the inside of the jar. So I think these came out much better. I don't know if you can hear that snapping, but we're gonna put them in the jar and I'm going to condition them for 3 days. So for 3 days, I'll be inverting the jar, seeing if the pears are sticking to the inside of the jar. And if after 3 days they're not, then I will vacuum seal the jars with my vacuum sealer and they'll be good on the shelf for quite a while. So this is another batch that came out well. So this, you can see when I invert the jar that there's nothing sticking to the bottom of the jar. And this one is the one that's going to need to be redone. So you can see they're still sticky in there. They're still delicious, and I could put them in the refrigerator and they would last longer, but I hesitate to vacuum seal these and put them on the shelf and forget about them for a few months because they will probably get moldy. So after all this work, I don't want them to become moldy. So just the final step that you do at the end of dehydrating. And this is a much easier way to preserve your food, and it's more lightweight this way. I also want to try canning some pears in the future, but that probably be next season. So let's put this in the jar. So I have my silicone sheets here, which makes it easier for the pear slices to release from the tray. When I put the food directly on the tray, it's a little more, they tend to stick more to the metal tray, and it's more of an effort. This way I can just kind of loosen up the fruit. Okay, so this is a 2-quart jar and I don't fill it all the way, so I do have room to invert the contents every day for those 3 days and to make sure that things are not sticking. If you pack it in there, then you're not going to know if it's sticking or not. And then I will, when I am conditioning it, I'm using the regular jar and lid because I find with the plastic screw-on covers for the mason jars that air still gets in, and I don't want my dehydrated food to absorb any moisture from the air. So I store it that way on the counter so it doesn't get any more moisture, and once I'm satisfied that it's conditioned properly, then I will vacuum seal it and put it on the shelf. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope this video was helpful. It's super easy. I'll leave links down below to my vacuum sealer, the dehydrator that I've been using and loving, and these silicone sheets if you're interested. Please like and share this video and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And we'll see you next time. Bye.